Arty Party drawing take 1. Hello and welcome to ErfDragon Art. Today I'm going to be doing another one of the unfinished art series, and this will again be a Draw With Jazza / Jazza related piece. So roll the credits and we'll go into more details. For anyone that's been around Jazza's channel for a while, you'll know that he used to be called Draw With Jazza. And every month he would do a challenge of the month where entrants would send in their versions of a particular scene, character, scenario that he would put out for that particular month. In this particular one, the charge was to do an Arty related party to celebrate his first 100,000 subscribers on his channel. So my concept idea was this one here, which is a wild and crazy eclectic party with Bob Ross, robots, the Jazza monkey and other bits and pieces in this piece. You probably can't tell right now what it looks like, but I will put a link to the original video if you want to see that and see the different projects. And that's also been split into separate sections if you're interested. So this is episode 1 and I'll catch you at the end just to close out. Right, so here we are, finally getting back to going back to this artwork and recrafting it so that it's a bit more in line with what I was looking for, the vision I had for this particular piece. And I don't know how well you can see it on this screen. If you can't, I will put a image somewhere on the screen so you can sort of see what this looks like before I get going, just so you can see it really clearly. But this is the basic concept I had for the Arty Party, and it's a mishmash of different characters, Jazza themed, including other artists who may have been involved in his channel in one way or another. And it's very eclectic, I have to say. I mean, it's a very weird piece that I've done. It doesn't probably read that well, so I'm going to try with this version to read it a bit better. So without further ado, let's get going on it, and I'll interject every so often with little pieces of information as it goes on. But I'm going to record this without commenting while I'm drawing. I'll put the commentary on after this effect. So let me stop waffling and let's get going. Okay, so the first character I'm going to do is Bob Ross. He's the main sort of brunt of this, and he's got him flying across on a paper aeroplane across it. Why I've chosen a paper aeroplane, I ain't got a clue, but that's what I've chosen to do. So he's the first character I'm going to work on. So let's do it. Now, if in case you don't know why I've got Bob Ross in a jazzy picture, if you've watched his channel for any length of time, you'll know that one of his favourite artists is definitely Bob Ross. He's done so many different artworks and weird challenges related to him. So it seems fitting that he's probably one of the most important characters in this particular art piece. Now for this next bit, I'm going to make this a little bit less splurgy, apart from maybe a couple of drips here and there, only because there's going to be an image in here as well. So I'm going to try and dull that down a bit, just so that it makes a bit more sense when I come to do the image underneath it. Okay, the next character on this, now this gets a bit challenging because obviously I need to build the guys in the foreground, but at the same time I also need to make things in the background as well. And not quite sure what I was doing here, not quite sure what this one was. It looks like a DJ table. What was his art table? I think that's his art table actually. So, but I'm going to change it slightly and have this up a bit more. This will probably be a different way of writing it than it was in the original artwork, but we'll see. basically in the early episodes of Jazza when he was on Twitch, whenever someone would sub, he would have these this dancing monkey with the castanets playing about. Do you know what? I think I should have left the room size the way it was. Maybe angle it differently. And that's the big thing with any kind of artwork. You've got to inspire people to do better. You know, you've got to be inspired by people that are better than you and not feel threatened by them. Because that's what tends to happen. People feel more threatened by somebody that's better than them rather than inspired to improve. Now you might notice at this point I'm drawing over certain segments of this that I drew previously, and that's the whole point of this particular project. So I'm trying to make this artwork much better than it was. I'm trying to improve on the design that I had for this. Now these two shapes here are in reference to the Jazzy axe that he created a while back. So that's what they're in reference to. Okay, so it's still as collectible as before, but it's a bit more readable and it's a bit gelling a little better. And then last thing for now is Jazza himself. Because what I had him do is, as James Ray's chasing after him, I had Jazza sort of running away. The good thing is this one isn't quite so different as the original, but it feels better. Alright, so just to show you where it's at the moment, so you can get a much clearer vision of what it looks like. This is where it's at the moment. So you can see different aspects of it. You've got Bob Ross at the top, James Ray's at the side, Jazza right in the middle, and there's a few other bits and pieces on here to go, but it's starting to shape up a little bit more, but there's a lot of empty space, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet, but let's do all the bits I can do and we'll take it from there. So the next thing I'm to do here is this part here is going to be the Bob Ross special. So we've got the cabin in the woods. Right, that's the basics down. So what we're going to do is for the next 20 minutes, I don't know how long we're going on for, but for the next 20 minutes I'm going to try and refine it a little bit and try and tweak some areas. Try and get this looking a bit more smoother and neater. And we'll call it a time for then, and then I'll do the next part the following week. So, let's up my pencil to my B's. My Bob Ross looks more like Ronald McDonald at the moment, so let's see if we can try and change that. So now it looks a little more, there's a lot more cartoon going on here now, which is good. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. I love the way the hand looks. I didn't really plan it that way, but the hand looks really cool. I want to fill this whole area up because I want this part of the top here to really cater for all the mountains and, you know, the typical Russified stuff. I will say that this paper that I'm using is incredibly thin. It's not the best quality paper at all. It doesn't make this as enjoyable as it would be if it was on slightly thicker paper. I mean, you can still use it, but I've heard this. Something I really hate hearing is a bad workman blames the tools. While there is definitely some truth to that, it's not the be all and end all. Because if you've got a drill, let's say you're someone that does repairs, if you've got a drill and it doesn't drill holes, then no matter how good a builder you are, or whatever, or what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Handyman or DIY ain't gonna make a difference. If the equipment doesn't work and you're a bad handy and you can't drill anything because the drill doesn't drill holes, then having the wrong equipment does hinder things. Now you can still. The thing that I understand about that is you work with the tools you've got, and if you're really good at it, you can work with the tools you've got and make it work. But sometimes you do actually need the right tools and tools that work well for you to create your craft. It doesn't make you better. The actual skill is yours. But if the equipment's wrong and it's hindering you, to say it's just a show of a bad workman is not accurate. I mean, like this pencil, for example, is a good pencil. The one I used earlier is not a great pencil. And it does make a difference. When I'm using a quality pencil, it does actually make a difference. At the end of the day, it's still my skill or my skill level that allows me to do what I'm doing. It doesn't make me a better artist by having a better pencil, but when you've got equipment that works better with you, it just helps improve your situation. It improves your ability a little bit, in the sense that if you're comfortable with the tools you're using, you're freer to do what you need to do. You're creating, what's the word? Less resistance in what you're trying to achieve. Now, I did this as logs on the front, but I'm thinking making this wood panels instead, just to save messing about. So, like with these pencils, for example, these pencils are good, but this paper just makes this whole process really uncomfortable. And yes, what I could have done was maybe redone this on a different piece of paper. But the only reason I've not done that is because I don't want to do an old drawing on a new piece of paper when I've done all the work on this one. I've already done quite a bit of details on this sheet, so let's carry on with that and take it from there. But technically, yes, I could have potentially just used another sheet and redraw the whole thing. But that's not the goal I'm doing here. The goal here is to update this piece and make it, improve upon it. Now, later in other challenges next time, I will most certainly do something a bit more where I'm actually literally drawing something different, or redrawing it. But this one, because of the nature of it, I'm not so fussed about drawing a brand new version. Just going to update the version I've got. But you'll see that in other drawings. As I do other projects later on, you'll see that. Okay, so you can see there, I've just updated the Bob Ross part just to make it look a little bit more clear of what's going on. So you can hopefully see that there's basically a scene going on here, and then Bob Ross has got this flying through, and there's this picture sort of appearing from behind his paint, so it's like a magic paint type thing. So that's where I'm going with that. Oh, and he always has a pond, doesn't he? He always has a pond of some description. So let's put the pond in there with the little bushes. Now, I'm going to be honest, drawing mountains and rocks and things, certain things, I find very tedious. If I can do it the Bob Ross way, I would, but I'll tell you what, one of those things that I don't particularly like doing so much, but I know that it is quite important to get the background scene on these things. There's these happy little trees. And there's a monkey with his spray paint. Looks more like a teddy bear than a monkey, but there you go. Alright, so we'll just do a couple more bits. I'm going to do James Ray's, and then I'm going to leave Jazza for tomorrow. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so I've given him a bit more of a bigger smile. James tends to have a much bigger smile than I'd given him in this particular version. It's got more of an Optimus Prime head now, which is what I was kind of going for. I know it still looks a bit messy, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Alright, we'll finish. Right, so I'm going to finish off doing the Jazza, and then we'll call it a day for this one. And then I'm going to cut the video, edit this, and get that one posted up. and we'll take the next stage from there. Let's try and get these eyes smaller. Because I just don't think that his eyes are quite... don't look quite frightened enough. Alright, I'm going to stop it there. I think we've done quite a bit today. It's probably been about an hour. So this is where we're at the moment. So now I've actually recorded this upside down so I can have a clearer picture of what's going on. But I'll reverse the camera so it looks like it's the right way up. But there you have it. So this is where we're at the moment. Probably doesn't look much, but hey. So yeah, so when I flip it round, it should look all the right way up. But yeah, I say it's not my favourite piece of artwork. It's not my favourite design and everything else. But one thing I don't like doing is having half-finished artwork lurking around the house. So that's why I've done that today. I hope you've enjoyed this part of the video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody that might enjoy this. And let me know what you think so far. What were your thoughts so far on this? Is there anything you think I could have done differently that would have been better than what I've done here? Could I have made the same idea but just crafted it a different way? What do you think? Did you even enter the competition when it happened? If so, I'd love to see what your, what your entry was. I'd love to see what you did. If you don't mind sharing, just put your name of your channel in the bottom, and I'll check you out definitely. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll catch you on part 2 of this particular episode. So catch you later. Okay, so that's the end of part 1. I hope you've enjoyed this, but I'm going to be starting redrawing this one, 8 PM UK Standard Time. So if you do want to join me for that, make sure that you are 1, subscribed, 2, that you've got the notification bell turned on, and if you want other people to enjoy this as well, hit that like button. It helps the channel so you don't miss a single thing. And until the next one, I'll catch you later. Bye bye now. Where you've come into his channel. Drawing, this is what. Mind the microphone. Can't get the words out. Where entrants would. Shut up out there. Now there's an airplane flying over. Great.